Hello guys, this is FX Mesh Smashing It. What is going on, guys? You're welcome to my Forex Indices price action analysis, where I carry out analysis on certain instruments in Forex and also indices, and maybe sometimes crypto, and try to do analysis on them to show my thought process regarding how the market has fared on a weekly basis. And I also give some few tips. The reason why this channel is on is for us to share ideas and for me to share my knowledge and good information regarding trading, for us to be in the right side of the market. The overall essence of trading is to make profit, and at the same time is to minimize losses. I always say here that when you are trading, what you want to think, or is to think of how much you can lose. The reason why I said how much you can lose is that if you can control your risk over time, after following a certain process and belief system, a philosophy, you will discover that you begin to see profitability. When you press that button, buy or sell, two things will most likely happen. The two major things will happen is either you lose or you gain, or maybe you break even. Break even is even a gain in a way, because you have had more increase in your account, more money has entered your account due to the fact that you shifted your stop loss to break even. Now I would be going to a chart to explain and show you briefly what transpired in this in the week, and I wrap it up with just maybe what we hope to expect in the coming week. And the week will be starting on the 29th of August 2022. And so let's go to the chart now and see what my thought process was like. Catch you in the chat. Alright guys, back to the chart. I carried out a trade on this particular pair, NZDCAD 45 minutes, and this was what I was looking at in the week. And what I put here was NZDCAD 45 minutes price has come to a significant zone, broken it, waiting to show clear retest for us to go short. So this was what I was looking at, and I measured here, I took here to, I marked here and I got here as my 0.5 free level. And this was the particular pair I chose, the NZDCAD, and on my phone this was the setup, and I entered at this point 0.80593, and I took a sell because it was a sell pattern. I was expecting this market to push to the downside. How the market came down, and I identified this particular level, and I expect to come down. It broke the level, retested it, and I expect to push to the downside. Why it was pushing the downside, this particular region is what you can see on screen, MT4 30 minutes time frame, and it just tanked down to this level. Then I took my profits, and that was it. That was a very beautiful trade for me there, and I was very happy with that trade, and Bob was my uncle. Now another trade I took was this is actually how the trade played out. I jumped out here, came out here actually of the trade. This was actually my break even, but I jumped out here because I had other trades to take, and I would like to monitor my trades when I'm trading on the lower time frame. I mean lower time frame in I sometimes I refer to lower time frames like 45 minutes and 30 minutes when I'm making reference to higher time frame like H4, 1 day and 1 week. So in this case I used a break and retest. The market came down, broke this level here, and they retested it twice, I think immediately around this area, so many times actually, 1 2 3 4 then 5. But I was looking at this as a whole point, because I saw a lot of weak rejection here, and break, retest once, second time again, then it tanked. While it was tanking down, I entered. That's how I made this particular trade. So I actually stopped in this level. So that you can see. Next one was Euro Australian dollars. This one was also a clear break and retest. The market broke, but when it broke, it was consolidating. It didn't just fall down. It came up again and consolidated for a bit and retested again here. I saw this candlestick here, 15 minutes time frame, and you can see that it started tanking to the downside. And this was what I captured on my MT4 on my computer. The same thing as what I've shown here is what is here on my MT4. Now, this was what I got as at that point in time, but I think I jumped out because this was Asian session, and you know Asian session is not the best session to trade. But I scalped that particular setup. It was Euro AUD, and you can see Euro AUD, and I scalped, and this is what I got from the trade. Then also I was also seeing this one, Euro Swiss francs break, retest, push to the downside. Now I was waiting for this to break, while when it broke to now pull back to this level, then once it gives me a sign to the downside, then I'll enter. I was also waiting in this regard. And also I think that's Euro I don't know. I'll still check further and see how this market played out, or if I didn't take it out. I didn't take the trade. I would show you. I'll tell you. Now Euro AUD. This was the Euro AUD I talked about, and you know, the reason why I jumped out was that, just imagine if you look at, I put something here. Say you see what I meant by waiting for London session to cool down. If I was still holding a trade, I would most likely have been taken out, hitting stop loss. You can see this particular long wick to the upside after sinking in profit. You can see how it came up. So this trade, by the time when the market came here, I already jumped out. I taking here as here was my break even. The reason why I drew this line was that once the market break past this line, it's most likely going to give me more sales. But what happened was that the market came here and blasted back to the upside, because we entered another London session. So that's why I put this here. Now guys, I'm just relying on break and retest. Break and retest was my main strategy for all the pairs I took this week. Now Euro Swiss francs, this one I talked about, this particular one, Euro Swiss francs, which is this one now. And look at what happened. I zoomed to 5 minutes. This is 30 minutes. So what I did was zoom closer in this area. Euro Swiss francs 30 minutes. Look at the 30 minutes here. Euro Swiss francs 30 minutes. Now I zoomed into a 5 minutes time frame, and this is what was the setup. And you can see how beautiful it is. It broke, took a bit to break, and retested here. And this was what I captured along the line, and you can see a wonderful melting into the downside. 5 minutes time frame, and it really went well. And also I was able to scalp more on it, and I think it traveled down to some extent, and this was what I got from that. Then also I also looked at the indices, NASDAQ, you can call it NASDAQ. So this is simple break and retest. The market broke somewhere, although you can't see from the screen, it broke this level and retested at this point. What I did was to draw a counter trend line, and once the market crossed this line, the market actually crossed the line and came down. I was waiting for the market to retest this level, and I'll be looking for a sell. So this was okay. This is a different one. This is a different one. Although this German 30 and NAS 100 are similar pairs. They behave similar because they are US indices, and also they are related to the US dollars, and they had same the same correlated pairs. They are the same correlated pairs, so that's why I posted it as well. Then you can see the NASDAQ is already into profit as well. So I circled this point because this was a key level, and once when they bounced, it broke this green line. Once it broke this green line, then I drew this other line again to confirm the sell. So the market came down, it tested and pushed it downside into profit. And also that amount, this amount now came up to this amount. You can see how German 30, I took these two trades, and you can see how much I gained. Now for NZD Swiss France, that the one I posted before, you can see the setup, beautiful setup, break. It was a break and retest, push to the downside. Then I was targeting this area, this region, and the market was already reversing that point. Now trying to push to the downside. I entered here, and the market it gave me a little bit of profit, and I think I was able to take that one. I also took this one again, the card Swiss as well, break and retest, the same thing. Card Swiss I posted before, just like that and just like that. Then this one is New Zealand Swiss France. I saw a similar pair. It's break and retest, break of this level, retest this level, it pushed the downside. I didn't trade that one. It came up again and retested this level and tried to push to the downside. You can see how it broke, retested it the first time, retested the second time. That retest gives me the confirmation. At the same time also, once it breaks a trend line, I put a trend line also to confirm. So when you are trading break and retest, you try to find different confirmations to enter your sell. Now my first confirmation was that the market broke this level, this strong level. You see, this is structure here. So I drew a line, the market broke it, retested it, showed me signs that's pushed to the downside. That's the first sign. Secondly, it also tested this for the second time. The first time, second time testing, push it to the downside, and then I entered in this point, and you can see it gave me some profit, just like that. Now USD CAD, same thing, break and retest. Market built up to its level. The market has broken it from here. Sorry, you can't see it. It came down, came up again, retested it, and you can see, and then retested this level again and tried to push to the downside. And this is what I got. I got some profit from there as well. Then later, the market tanked to the downside, and you can see it's traveling. Then this Euro Japanese, where it was a bit of the signals were not too strong. You can see that it's just cracking, and it's not a smooth trade, but it was still trying to obey the break and retest strategy. Now it retested this thing very well, this, so I was concerned about this area, so I took a fib level here to see where the market is going to retrace back. So I took a fib level between here and here. So the fib level along this line, this line, gave me a reversal here. So that's how I drew, that's why I drew this circle here, and expecting the market to tank to the downside. Now this was what the market did. So this is another different one again. The break and retest USD CAD I talked about previously. I entered profit. It closed on break even. This is my break even. My TP one was here. My take profit was here. But you see what happened? Market came here and reversed to the upside. And you know what happened? There was significant reversals. Now this Euro Japanese is what is this one? This one here is what is this one. So you see, and I think I lost this trade because I was expected to push to the downside, but it reversed and went against me. Now this is gold spot, gold, a break retest, and I expected to push to the downside. Now this was the gold in 4 hours, still break and retest, the same thing. The market breaks a key level and retests it, and it tanked. This was a very good trade. This was my kind of break even. I was not too sure of the signal, but it actually played out fine. What I thought was that once I drew this line here and the market crosses this green line, it breaks this line, retests it, and once it crosses this counter trend red line, then it's going to tank into profit, and that's what happened, and it tanked to profit. So that's just a round up of all the pairs I took, and for the week, I was able to make some profit from the trades I took. Now back to the chart. Those are screenshots of my activities in this week. Now let's just analyze one particular pair, and we'll call it a day. Now first of all, I want to look at a particular indices that I use to check the strength of the US dollars, which is DXY. DXY is an indices that actually gives me a picture of the strength of the US dollars. Now you can see on the 4 hours time frame that the DXY has actually been pushing to the upside. You can see that if you I want to use this to analyze. You can see that I've identified the key levels, and you can see it came down here, went up again, down, up, down, then it played a little bit here. USD was weak, then it pushed up to the upside, and it's kind of retesting this area, this region, this angle here, this structure here area. So this region is what is being tested now. You can see it playing around here. So gold is giving a very it's in a level of consolidation where it's consolidating around this area. Then once it consolidates around this area, then let's see what's going to happen, if it's going to break past this level and retest and push to the upside, or it's going to retest and push it downside. So that's what it's all about. Now based on this, the strength of the US dollars, we can have an idea of what the US dollar is going to what kind of impact it's going to have in other pairs. Like for example, now this DXY is an indices, and because we're able to have an idea of what the US dollar is behaving here, we can now look at other US pairs and say, okay, US dollar begins to consolidate. That will now directly impact other US pairs. For example, we have Euro USD. Euro USD pushing to the downside means that this Euro USD, because USD is a suffix, it's not a prefix, it's a suffix. Each time this pair is pushing to the downside, it means US dollar is gaining strength. Look at what happened. The market pushed to the downside, but look at what it's doing now. It's consolidating. Because why? US dollars consolidated lately. So for Euro USD, what do we expect? A consolidation means the market can go up, it can go either direction, either up or down. Now in this case, I'm expecting, let us clean what we have here. Now this is what we have now for the Euro USD on a 4 hours time frame. So what do we want to do? The market is pushing to the downside. So what is our plan? The plan is to identify structure first of all on the 4 hours. Okay, we want to identify structures first. So what we do is to draw identify this is a structure. So we can just join these 2 points together like this. We need to learn how to draw trend line. It's very important. There's a structure here as well. We can draw that here. We can draw this one here as well like this. Then we'll be waiting for the market to start and maybe push to the downside, then retest. Then once it does that, then we'll begin to look for what is sell. If not, we might be thinking we might be expecting the market to push to the upside and retest this level and push to the upside. It will play around here, push to the upside, rebound and push to the upside. Now if the market is pushed to the upside, that means that US dollar is losing strength. If the market is pushing to the downside, it means what is gaining strength for Euro USD. Now what of other pairs where US is the prefix? For example, NZDCAD. NZDCAD is another very beautiful pair that moves, and if US dollar is going to gain strength, it means that it's going to push it to the upside, because US dollar is a prefix. It means that once it's pushing, it breaks this level, it retests it, then we're looking for what? A buy and heading to this level. So this drawing trend lines like this, identifying structures like this, drawing this kind of lines are very important, because once the market breaks through this level and gives us a bullish candlestick to the upside, it will be a sign for us to go long or buy and be heading. I'll put our take profit here, our stop loss just behind this level. So that is what's going to happen. Now for USD JPY, the same thing. Now I think I marked this one, so we can even clean this one. You can clean this one. You clean this one and say, okay, you know what? Let us clean this one and see how the market could perform. Now look at this. There's a structure here. I can even paint it here. Structure here. This area is consolidating. There's structure here and the structure here. Now we can see the structures around the area where we want to draw our lines. Now that is how we do it. Now how do we analyze this? First of all, we draw we identify the structure, draw a bar, okay, then identify the structure. Like this is there as a resistance, then there is the support. Oh, sorry. Is the support. Okay, now you can see that the market has actually broken a structure. It came up here, it tested this, and it finally broke it. And we can even draw this one up if you like. It kind of tested it somehow. You can draw like because of this one at this point, and this point. So the market came up here, it pulled back, it finally broke it, it tested it, and you can take a buy from here. We have taken a buy from here. It came down again, it tested it bounced, and it tested it again, and then pushed to the upside. So what do we expect in this kind of situation? We expect that the market will just come here, retest this, bounce, then begin to push to the upside, or it will just hit here and hit here, bounce, and down to the downside. So that's how we're looking at the market. Now this is FX Mesh smashing it. If you like what I'm about, please like, subscribe, and share. Catch you in the next one. Always remember to trust the process. Make sure you are disciplined. Make sure you're able to manage your account, and just stay calm. Catch you. Peace out.